So we can all agree the heart of Troy is Achilles and Hector, but the only reason why Achilles' character can work is because of Agamemnon's character. So let's talk about how he was adapted for the movie and how he was the true villain of the story. He got what he wants in the end, and that's a good thing. So let's talk about Atreus' son, Agamemnon. Starting with the opening scene. In the opening scene, one of the very first lines you ever hear spoken is the king of Thessaly telling Agamemnon, because they are at war with each other.
Can't have the whole world, Agamemnon. It's too big, even for you.
One day you need to be satisfied with what you have. So that already shows Agamemnon really doesn't think about his people. He's drove by his need for more and more power. He doesn't need to conquer these lands. As you see in this moment, the king of Thessaly is talking to Agamemnon as, I know you, Agamemnon. It's not one of those things where it's just, they're enemies, they're naturally enemies. He's choosing to conquer this Thessaly because he wants more power. He wants more of this. He's not satisfied with the land he already conquered, which is a very common thing for conquerors. They just want to keep conquering. So then when we move forward and now we see his interaction with Achilles for the first time, he thinks he can boss Achilles around, and he thinks he can treat Achilles like he's his war dog, his pet he can throw out there and just kill, give me some land. And doesn't have a lot of respect for his warriors. Like the great Achilles, who's by the Greek standpoint believed to be a divine person. He's more than willing to push him around because he doesn't have respect for other people. So more that how his character works. He loves conquering. He doesn't really have respect for other humans. He sees them as just pawns in his game that he can move around. Even as Achilles goes out to kill the Thessalian warrior, you have it so Nestor is saying we need Achilles on our side, and Agamemnon says, for now, he has that pride of, oh, if I get big enough, I don't need Achilles. I don't need him. I can move on from him, which is leading up to when we see what happens with that fight between them with Briseis. And so then we move to our next scene where we see after Helen is taken and his brother Menelaus comes to him, you figure out later that he actually does have a connection with his brother. He loves his brother and all, but you can see in that moment he's more playing that like, oh, poor you, your wife has been taken, now I can have an excuse to go attack Troy. That's really what he wants. Troy is considered to the Greek world as this unconquerable land. They're like the Helm's Deep, right? It has never been breached. And in the end, it's actually not Agamemnon who comes up with this great plan. It's Odysseus who's like, okay, let's just build this horse. He wants to find a way to conquer this land because of the pride of this land can't be conquered. I want to prove that wrong. I want to conquer them because I'm the great Agamemnon. He wasn't really on board with his brother trying to bring peace between the Trojans because he wanted to join his brother in fighting them. But in the end, his brother does try to have peace with them, then it backfires when Helen runs off with Paris, and now they're back at war with each other. So then when you see that council Agamemnon is having with Nestor, and they're talking, and he's like,
I always thought my brother's wife was a foolish woman. She's proved to be very useful.
he's happy that this happened because he wants to go conquer them. And you see in that moment also that move towards, they mention, okay, well, let's bring Achilles in on this. And he's like, I don't know if I want that. Like, he can't be tamed. Like, he's trying to be like, okay, if I can find a way to conquer Troy without Achilles, I would prefer to do that. But eventually Nestor convinces him, he's like, okay, go ask Odysseus, who's the only person he will talk to ask him to join us. The moment you see Achilles attack the beach and conquer, and everyone's cheering his name, you see the look on Agamemnon's face of like, they should be cheering my name. We see in the tent how he's convinced these kings to come up and give homage to him, give gifts to him, be like, oh, look how great of a win you got, even though Achilles was the one who actually got it. And the moment Achilles is brought in, he makes everyone leave, and he starts like bashing Achilles, saying, I won this. My name's going to be the one in stone. You didn't win this. I won this. Back off. Even more so that he heard the rumor that Achilles had found this priestess and had been taking her for a bride. So instead of like in the Iliad, where it was more about because he had to get back his woman, he took Briseis. And basically, he tells Achilles that if you want any glory in this battle, you have to go through me. So by him taking Briseis becomes, this is a sign to you of, I have full control. I can take who I want. I can do what I want. This is my prize now. You can't do anything about it. I'm the one in charge. He wants to stamp his foot down. I'm in charge here. Today was unacceptable. You got to the shore before the rest of us because you wanted to prove yourself. You are not going to do that again. You are going to be under my control. You are my dog. You are going to sit by my feet. He acts like he's trying to train Achilles. This wild dog, he can just, I'll tame you so you are by my feet. You are my dog that I can send out when I need you. Come back to master now. Dog's probably not the best way to say it. I mean, he's like, Achilles is like his lion, his tiger, he's like war bear. I don't know, a wild animal that he's trying to tame, and Achilles doesn't like that. And so Achilles says, no, I'm going to back out of the battle now. You see when it comes to the duel, when he makes that move with his brother, like, okay, Menelaus is like, I'll give the signal, you'll still attack. He's somewhat convincing his brother, I don't care about Helen, I don't care about if you win this. All I care about is conquering Troy, so I'm going to find any reason. Even if you win this fight and you can get your wife back, I'm still going to try to attack Troy. That's where he's coming from. So thus, when his brother dies, it gives him more of an excuse. And for the rest of the film, he's using his brother as an excuse to be, now this is my excuse for fighting these people. This is my reason why I'm doing this. Not fully that. I truly believe that he did somewhat love his brother, but it really didn't come down to his brother. It came down to his desire to have power that kept him going through this war, wanting to destroy Troy. Why I say I'm not going to say that fully is because in the end of the movie, when he says, burn it all down for Menelaus, that kind of shows, okay, there's that brotherly anger he feels there of, you killed my brother, I'm going to burn your city down. Before he wanted to sack Troy, but he didn't want to destroy Troy. Now he wants to destroy it. They killed his brother, he's going to destroy Troy now. But you also, like, in that battle, right after the fight of Menelaus and Paris, you see, as they're fighting, all of their men are dying because Achilles is not there to rally them and all. So more of them are dying because of that, and he's refusing to back off, and it has to be Odysseus, the smart one of the group, saying, okay, we need to back off. The other men being like, okay, give it up. I don't, like, your brother's dead. Yes, we have to deal with that. Let's end this battle now. Let's save as much of our men as we can. So that evening when he's talking to Odysseus, and Odysseus is like, okay, why are we still here? Your brother is dead. She doesn't matter anymore. He's like, we're still going to attack Troy. We're still going to do that. They did not stay true to their end. He's finding any excuse to want to continue attacking them. And at this point, he does see that he has to let Achilles off the leash. He has to put him back out in the battle again. He doesn't know how to do it. But at this point, he's like, okay, I'll get back Briseis. I'll do what it needs to be done. Oh, like, okay, you can have Briseis away. Please just go kill Hector for me. Please don't do this. And it takes Patroclus dying for it to happen, just like in the book. But at that point, when he sees Patroclus's body dead and Achilles, how he reacts to that, he says, this boy just saved our war. He's starting to now wake up a little bit. By the end of the movie, he's still just as bad. But he's starting to wake up enough that he sees, okay, Achilles is needed and I need to take him off the leash. So when they attack Troy and you see him saying, just burn it all for Menelaus, when he dies, and he dies being killed by Briseis, which doesn't actually happen in the book, but still a pretty good ending to him, it shows that he doesn't get this warrior death. He gets killed by a priestess. He doesn't get this glory in his death. He just gets a pathetic death. Even that, from a modern standpoint, I wouldn't say that's pathetic. But you get what I'm saying. Like, from a high Greek sexist man, that comes off like that. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that was a pretty good ending for him. He still gets his glory in the end. He still gets to sack Troy. He still gets to conquer them and know that he won. And he's still playing it by that part. But in the end, guess what? Who gets the glory in the end? And the ending lines in the movies, it talks about Hector and it talks about Achilles. It doesn't talk about Agamemnon. That's the truth. He wins the war, but he doesn't get the glory he wanted. So when it comes down to it, everyone else is fighting for love. Everyone else is fighting for good reasons. He doesn't care about Helen. He doesn't care about love. He barely cares about his brother. He somewhat cares about him, but he really just wants to conquer. Helen to him is just a reason to do this, an excuse why he can go to Troy and conquer it. He wants to prove his power. He wants to grow his empire. But everyone else is fighting. Paris for love, Hector for family, and Achilles is fighting for his immortality through memory. Agamemnon's still fighting for immortality through memory, but unlike Achilles, who's fighting for his own name. He's fighting for immortality. He's fighting for his name to be remembered. Agamemnon, yes, it's his name, but Achilles wants to build his memory off of his own achievements. Agamemnon wants to build his memory off of other people's. That's what makes him the villain. He's a great villain, while also, because this is Troy, and this is a different type of story, it doesn't have a clear good versus bad. You have both sides. You really see, at the end of the movie, when Troy's attacked, you don't feel this glory of, yes, they attacked Troy. You feel this terrible. You see the Greeks do some terrible stuff that I'm not going to name on YouTube because of maturity reasons, and there was some terrible stuff the Greeks do in that moment. And you see, no, this is not a good thing that they won. It's supposed to show that the story is not black and white with that. Like, okay, yeah, we wanted the Greeks to win, but we also didn't want the Trojans to lose too. Like, we wanted both sides. It was a conflict of two sides we both liked. The one person we wanted to lose was Agamemnon. We wanted him to fail because we liked Achilles, we liked Hector, we liked all these other people. We don't like it, Agamemnon. Because Agamemnon was using other people as tools. He was using other people as to bring about his own glory. He doesn't care about the warriors. As he says, the people are going to remember are the kings, not the warriors who fought them. Even in the Iliad, you see that. I just finished recording my breakdown of book 2 of the Iliad. There's a line in it where Homer says, I don't remember every single name of all of the warriors, but I know the names of their chiefs and kings. And so here they are. That's the truth, is that it is somewhat the kings are going to be the ones remembered, but great warriors like Achilles are remembered. People who actually brings about the glory are remembered more than just the people who were leading them sometimes. And so that's where Agamemnon comes from. He doesn't do any of the... Yes, he can fight, but most of his glory comes from other people, not himself. And so it makes him really hateable because of that. While the conflict of Achilles and Hector is important, really what it comes down to is the real conflict of this whole movie is that of Achilles and Agamemnon, just like with the Iliad. And so having Achilles done well is one part of the pillar of you have to also get Agamemnon right too. If you guys want to see more videos like this on the channel, consider subscribing. This has been the Movie Night Reviewer, Peter Wary, signing off.